I'm a pretty prompt person, so I'm going to go ahead and get things started. Will my slide presenter please proceed to the next slide? As you see, my name is Pamela O'Neill. I am the Associate Director at the Office of Adult Learning here at Wichita State. And I just want to thank everyone for coming today. I envisioned these quite differently when I started working on them in 2019. I believe it was spring of 2019. And I thought, boy, we could all come together and have a nice celebration over at the Radigan Student Center. And yeah, that didn't happen, but I'm still glad that everyone is here. And I hope you're half as excited as I am to start talking about our adult learners. Those of you that know me know that I came to Wichita State at 31 years old myself to get my bachelor's degree and ended up liking it so much that I never left. I had a lot of people help me to get to where I am today, and I knew that I would never be able to pay them back. So I feel like now I get the chance to pay it forward because I know how much our adult learners have going on. I was never married or had any kids while I was getting my degree, but I was working full time, and that was enough for me. But some of our adult learners here are juggling working full time. Sometimes they're working 2 or 3 jobs. They have children. Sometimes they're even caring for elderly parents. And they're doing this, and they're also going to work, or they're coming to Wichita State and getting their degree. They are juggling multiple priorities. And that's why I find it so important that we take this time and recognize the wonderful things that they are doing here at Wichita State. And so I envisioned the Adult Learner of the Year Awards, the Allottees, in 2019. And it's just such a pleasure to have so many of you here with me celebrating and telling these adult learners that what they're doing is incredible. I know some of you are probably hearing about the Office of Adult Learning for the first time. So just a quick synopsis of what we do. I help adult learners who are 24 and older. Sometimes they're even younger. Sometimes they have independent status, military, adult. You know, there's not a person that if they walk through my door, I won't help. But it is, like I said before, this passion to help adult learners get their degree. And honestly, that goes into so much more than just adults. And so at this time, I'm just going to ask my friend Chad Steinkamp to talk a little bit about some of those amazing adult learners here at Wichita State. So Chad, if you would, please.
Yeah, of course. Thanks, Pam. I appreciate the nice intro. And thank you guys so much for the opportunity to be here today and visit with you. The Adult Learner of the Year is just a great program that the Office of Adult Learning started a couple years ago that is just so outstanding to recognize those great adult learners here on campus, which is definitely needed. So just a little bit of my experience. So right now I'm the Assistant Director of Admissions here at Wichita State, and basically my role is to work with adult military and transfer students, and I love that role. It's a great role for me. I really like to connect with adult students, and the transfers of military students is just a fun opportunity for me. I obviously love my job and what I do. It's because of the students and adult students. I've been actually in higher ed and in admissions for about 24 years now. I started at a very young age. I'm kidding. I'm a lot older than y'all might think. So, but anyway, so I've been in this for a long time. And when I was at Butler Community College on the Andover campus for a while before I came over to Wichita State, that's when I got my first experience working with adult learners, and what a joy it was to work with them and to hear their stories and just kind of where they came from, what situations they're in, and how we as higher ed professionals can help them move on to that next goal and to that next step that they want to achieve. And I loved it right away. So when I moved over to Wichita State and got the opportunity to work with adult learners here, I mean, it really was a dream come true. So it's a great opportunity. So for those adult learners that are here today, you know, I definitely want to congratulate you on being here, being recognized. I wish we could recognize all adult learners because we know you're just a representative of what's really out there. When I started at Wichita State, so this is my 8th year here, 8th or 9th year around there here at Wichita State. And when I started, it really wasn't I love Wichita State, but it really wasn't an adult-friendly campus at the time. We did start the Office of Adult Learning years ago, and then online learning came in and have done some tremendous things. And since then, the culture for adult students on here has just evolved so much. And so when our younger students, our first-time freshmen and stuff, and our transfer students see adults in their class, it's really normalcy now. It's to the point that it's normal to see those adult students in those classes. And I like that, because I like how the adult students work with those younger crowd, because you guys have that experience. You all have that life experience that you're able to share with those younger students, and they have the enthusiasm and the ideas and stuff that they can share with all the adult students. So it's really a good combination on campus. And it's been a blessing for me to be able to work with Office of Adult Learning, working with Pam, working with Jenna, working with the folks over in online learning, just so we can figure out ways to make this a better trip for our adult learners on campus, and how to make them just feel more at home. So my role is basically just to work with those. I need to get you all in the door. So, pass on to your friends, let your friends know that want to come back to school. Hey, I'm your guy. Let me talk to you. Let me talk to you about the benefits of going to Wichita State, how you guys can achieve your goals as adults, and really how easy it is. Just, make sure you ask the questions, what the resources are, and how we can walk you through that. And then once I get you in the door, I am happy to hand you over to Pam or to Jenna, over to Noelle over in Office of the Online Learning, because I know you guys are in good hands, and they will take care of you and help you with the resources to get you through it, because I know it's a tough transition for adults. I'm not in school right now, and honestly, y'all, I couldn't imagine going back to school right now. I'm working a full-time job. I got 2 kids. I got one that's going to be a junior in high school, and it's freaking me out. So I really admire what you guys do and how you do this. And so as part of my job, I know Pam and Jenna, y'all are kind of on the same page. We want to make sure that transition, and that you feel comfortable with what you're doing, and help you succeed as an adult learner. So as you can tell, when you hear us talk, when you hear Office of Adult Learning and online learning, and myself and some of my admission staff that I work so closely with, talk about adult learners, we're very passionate about you guys. We want to make sure that you get in and that you're comfortable, because as an adult student, you've been out of school for a while, you're stepping outside that comfort zone. I get it. And we want to make sure that you make that transition in that comfort zone, and you get in there and you do some things here that you can never imagine that you could do before. So I could just ramble on forever, but I know Pam is going to be on a tight schedule here today, and to get the recognitions out and you guys deserve. So I just want to wish you all that are here, the best of luck, and please let us know how we can help, because that's why we're here. I like to tell all the students that I talk to, please ask me questions, because I love questions, and we get paid to answer your questions. But we love the questions. So please ask, reach out. Let us know what we can do to help you. And again, like I mentioned, shameless plug for admissions side. Tell your friends, tell your family that we would love to have them give WSU a try as far as the adult learning side goes. But the adult learning culture here at Wichita State is amazing, and we will do what we can to help you succeed. So thank you guys. Congratulations for all you being here, for being recognized. And Pam, I'm just going to be quiet and turn it back over to you.
Thank you, Chad. One of the things I want you guys to know about is how much we work with Chad. Chad's been one of my best friends here at the university for 5 years now, and just an amazing person. And, I have never asked Chad to do something and he hasn't said, yes, I'd love to. And so when I asked him, I said, Chad, would you, say a few words? And that was actually a little bit of a con on my part. Aaron, this is where you come in. Our University Partner Award this year goes to Chad Steinkamp.
Pam, you're not my best friend anymore. You're not my best friend anymore.
You guys, working with Chad is a pleasure. I mean, I can think of one time, though, I asked. We were on a conference. Do you remember this, Chad? And I asked you to find me, wasn't hard, a single, good-looking man who would just fund everything I need. I never saw that from you, but that's the only time I've ever known you to not help adult learners.
Yeah, Pam, I'm sorry I dropped the ball on that one.
Other than that, I mean, I I love working with you, Chad. We all do. When I told Aaron about this, he said, yes, he said, Chad he gets the recognition. And everybody who knows you knows how passionate you are, and they just heard it. So thank you so much, Chad, for being our university partner. And thank you for being the friend that you are to me and to all adult learners here at Wichita State.
Well, thank you, Pam. I'm honored. I'm a little modest and say I don't deserve it, but thank you so much. It's an honor working
You deserve
with
it.
you, Aaron, my man, for hiding this, and Tara's at the front door with her phone and camera on. So thanks, Tara. Thank you. Congratulations.
I'm glad we could get you.
You did. Yes.
Yeah,
So Pam,
yeah.
you're no longer my best friend on campus. So
That's all right. I'm okay with that.
Thank you,
Alright.
Chad. You're awesome.
Yes, yeah. Chad,
Thank you.
and that was something when I was telling everybody, they were just like, oh, we're so excited. I'm like, I know I am too. I woke up this morning and today was, if you know me, sometimes I get excited about coming to work, and it's for things like this that we get to recognize not only our students, but people who help our students. And so with that, I'd like to talk about our community partner. So about a year ago, I was introduced to the Working Men of Christ. We had some old laptops and we donated them. And then I got to learn a little bit more about Working Men of Christ and what they do in our community and how they're not only helping adult learners, but adults in general. So with that, although we did not get time to get it shipped, we will send this out to our friends over in Working Men of Christ. Christy Somerville, if you would like to say something, I sure would. Maybe you can say it a little more elegantly about what the Working Men of Christ do. I believe you're on mute, Christy. I'll see if I can get you unmuted.
Unmuted.
There we go.
Hi. Yeah, thank you. We are so excited about being a part of this and receiving this award. Thank you so much, Pam. I was a adult learner myself at WSU, and I got my master's degree, 3 kids, running a company, and decided to take on the master's degree. So I love WSU. So I was really excited when I heard that you were going to give us this award. Our goal at Working Men of Christ is to demonstrate a new reality to those who recognize that their past reality is not going to give them the entrance to life that they would want for themselves or their family or their community, on top of the normal adult learning challenges of a family and a job and those kinds of things. These are people that are coming out of prison who are making choices for themselves and that are bucking the identity of who they are and what they can do. And it's very exciting to be a part of that. And to substantially assist them in this transition requires providing access to new information about themselves and the world as they thought they knew it. And almost all of our students come from some of the most marginalized demographics in our entire society. So the task of aiding them as they literally take on new identification requires input and assistance from all levels of society, from us, from churches, from businesses, from our universities. And so we really thank WSU for its friendship and for acknowledgement with this award. And we humbly accept this and are very excited about it. Thank you so
Awesome.
much.
I see Pastor Johnson is on here as well. And I haven't met him in person, but we've been in several meetings together. And so my hat's off to you, Pastor Johnson. I love what you're doing. Keep doing that good work. And if there is ever anything that we can do to help the Working Men of Christ, you know my contact information, you know where to find me. I'll be there to help. So thank you all very much for that.
Thank you.
We'll get your award mailed out to you probably either this afternoon or tomorrow morning, and get that so you can proudly display it. And now I will turn it over to my friend and coworker Jenna Randall to talk about the Shocker Pathway Student of the Year Award and the finalists.
Thank you, Pam. So my name is Jenna Randall. I have been working in the Office of Adult Learning for about 3 years as a returning adult specialist here at Wichita State University. I have worked with the Shocker Pathway program in some capacity since its very first semester in the spring of 2015. The Shocker Pathway program is very dear to me, so I'm very excited to share and introduce our inaugural Shocker Pathway Student of the Year. For those of you who aren't familiar with the Shocker Pathway program, it is our general education partnership between WSU Tech and Wichita State University, providing students with a route towards their Associate of Arts degree and then hopefully bachelor's degrees, starting at that 2-year college. There were a lot of very driven, passionate, and successful students in the Shocker Pathway. And this year we had 2 finalists and 1 award winner that stood out from the rest of the nominees. So I'll go through our 2 finalists and then announce our award winner. Our first finalist is a student who has put her heart and soul into pursuing her education. She exemplifies what it means to be a hardworking student. Despite the hurdles she has encountered, she has not given up and is even more determined now to complete her degree at Wichita State University. Currently in her 2nd semester at WSU, this student will continue to serve others as she completes her Bachelor of Education through the Teacher Apprenticeship Program. I know she could not be here with us today because she had to work, like many students do. I am very proud to announce that Chelsea Morales is our first finalist. Yay. So then moving on to our 2nd finalist. Our 2nd finalist is currently at WSU Tech. The student works very hard to balance life as a mother, daughter, sister, friend, and student. It was evident from her nomination letter that she is a very caring person and she will be the first in her family to complete a college degree. This student is another great example of someone dedicated to their education, but also to serving their community. The student intends to give back by pursuing a degree in forensic science with the hopes of a career as a crime scene investigator. I am very honored to present Briasia Sharkey as the 2nd finalist for the Shocker Pathway Student of the Year. And Briasia, if you are here and you would like to say something, please feel free to unmute, but don't feel obligated. And then lastly, I want to introduce our Shocker Pathway Student of the Year. This student exemplifies what it means to be a hardworking and successful student. The person who nominated the student shared how important she has been to her educational journey. Not only does this student aspire to give back to those in her community, she also strives to be a great mother. When asked what she had learned as a Shocker Pathway student, she said, "I have learned that everything can be done, no matter how slow the process is. One step at a time, and you'll still be able to reach your dreams." This student has been an outstanding student while at WSU Tech and plans to transfer to Wichita State soon to pursue a Bachelor of Science in Nursing. I am so proud to announce that Apple Holder is our inaugural Shocker Pathway Student of the Year. I don't know that Apple is here, but if you are, if you wouldn't mind unmuting, if you feel comfortable, and sharing a few words.
All right, thank you, Jenna. I don't see that Apple is on here unless she's one of our phone numbers. I'll give her just a few minutes, but congratulations, Shocker Pathway Student of the Year finalists, and to the Shocker Pathway Student of the Year. We're really grateful that you come to WSU Tech and Wichita State University. We can't wait to work with you and help fulfill your dreams. So congratulations to all of you. At this time, I will begin talking about our Adult Learner of the Year finalists. I love the acronym ALATI. It just, I think it kind of signifies they do a lot, really. Sorry, I couldn't pass it up. So thank you. Someone just laughed. I appreciate it. Our first finalist that I'm going to talk about today is an Osher Scholar. And for those of you unfamiliar with the Osher Scholars, these are, we have about 25 of them here at Wichita State, and they receive a scholarship based on what they've done at Wichita State and our group of hardworking people. And so it was no surprise to me when this person was nominated. I've known her for a couple years now, and it was really great that one of my former English professors, Dr. Mary Waters, nominated her. Kate Magathan, you are our finalist for the Adult Learner of the Year. Now, I do believe I saw Kate on here. And if you would like to say something, Kate, we would love to have you say something. If not, that's totally fine. I just appreciate that you are such a great example of what it means to be an adult learner. I know that you also have children and you're putting them through school and yourself. So we are very proud of you here at the Office of Adult Learning. If you would like, Kate, we can mail this to you, or you can always stop by the office and pick it up. You have my contact information, and just let me know how you would like to receive your award.
Well, I'll be there. I'm on campus on Tuesdays and Fridays, and
Okay,
I wasn't expecting this, and so I don't have anything really to say
that's okay.
other than the Office of I couldn't do this without the Office of Adult Learning. The
Good.
support, even just the knowledge that other adults are doing this too, that it's not just me. And yeah, you had mentioned earlier that it's now or Chad had mentioned that it's kind of the norm for non-traditional students to be in classrooms. I'm a junior now, and there is almost always another adult in class with me. When my first semester, first 2 or 3 semesters, there were a lot of classes where I was the only one, but now I'm seeing somebody else in almost every one of my classes that's over the age of, 18, 19.
Yeah.
And so the Office of Adult Learning has just been really supportive. And I don't think I would have been able to do this or be as successful as I am without you guys.
Okay, thank you so much. I actually taught at Wichita State for a couple years, and of course was an adult learner. I can say this with authority that when we have an adult learner in the classroom, it brings so much to the classroom. Chad talked about that experience, but as someone who has taught, I've seen younger students gravitate towards these adult learners because they know that, they have experience that they don't have yet. So what a blessing it is for those that are traditional students to have an adult learner in the classroom. So thank you for being that. They appreciate it. I know they do. So thank you. Our second finalist, I do not know, I don't believe she is on here, but I will ask Mercedes Lubers. Mercedes, if you are on here, you want to take a few minutes and talk for a second?
Sure. You want me to talk about Emily?
Yes, please.
All right. Emily is one of my students. I'm an academic advisor for TRIO Disability Support Services. We serve all ages and backgrounds of students. Unfortunately, we can't serve international students since we're grant funded, but all age ranges. And Emily is actually one of my younger students, but I nominated her for this award because she was a foster student who has had to basically raise herself and has had to since she was about 16 years old. She's had to pay for school all for herself. and really she's such a persistent student, and doesn't really get that recognition very often. And so sometimes she still struggles with, I have to work so much harder than everyone else, not only because I have a disability and I'm limited income, but because I don't have the same support that other people have. And I thought that at least nominating her would be a good way for her to get some kind of recognition that we see the work she's doing and that what she does matter and that we believe in her. And unfortunately, she couldn't be here today because she had class. But she's just really great, and she goes above and beyond to do well in her classes. She works as an EMT. She wants to go into the medical field and hopes to get her master's degree. She's currently in engineering, and she still advocates for other individuals who are foster youth. She's part of a advocacy committee for the state and still really talks on issues that pertain to foster youth. So I'm really glad that she was made it as a finalist for this.
Thank you, Mercedes. And so that's another thing, like I said earlier in my introduction, yes, we serve that 24 and older, but so many times there are circumstances like Emily's that, she's had to be an adult and has done many adult things. And so we recognize that, and just want to say thank you, Mercedes, for nominating her, but to Emily Hedrick as being an example as to what can be accomplished. And now for the time for the Adult Learner of the Year. One of the reasons I started this journey in the first place. The person who received this award, when I heard that my committee chose him, I almost broke down and started crying because this person comes in the office quite a bit and we chat, and I can't say it anymore, but Billy Wilson, you are our Adult Learner of the Year. Thank you to whomever nominated Billy. We sure appreciate it. And I just am over the moon to announce that. Billy, I have a feeling you are listening from Abla Hall or Abla Library, sorry. If you want to come in and say something, we'd love to hear you talk.
Well, normally I would be at Abla, my home away from home, but today I do happen to be in my apartment.
Okay.
But anyway, I'm really flattered. I just really am, when I think back and, like I said in my text earlier, I was able to obtain my associate's degree while incarcerated in federal prison, and which is something I would have never dreamed in a million years that I could do. I come from the foster care system too, and eventually became severely chronically addicted to drugs and alcohol for like 38 years, and ended up spending time in prison and didn't have a college idea. I was a 9th grade education, and when they offered it, I thought, well, I don't know if I could do that. Am I smart enough to only have a 9th grade education? But I went ahead and gave it a shot, and I was able to do that. And then when I got out, my probation officer, I told her, I want to go to Wichita State, get some more education. And she said, go for it, and so, but I could, I just really am kind of speechless over this. I'm so grateful. I really do have a lot of gratitude in my heart. And I had heard of that Working Men of Christ, but I just kind of hadn't heard about it for a long time. And I became a Christian in prison, which was definitely not on my radar. So, but just thank you so much to Pam. Susan Norton we used to always talk about the Shockers. I'd stop in her office, and was picked up right where she left off, and Jenna and all the gals over there just extremely nice to me. And I love college, and I love the Adult Learning Center, and I just want to keep on. Why not? My sister in Utah told me, she said, the sky is the limit. You can do whatever you want. So
Your sister's your sister's absolutely right. And Billy, although I did have that, I graduated from high school just like anyone else. It took me 13 years to come back to Wichita State. And like you, I took one class. I took college English because that was my strongest one. And at the time I wondered, would I have the ability to get a degree? As I sit and write my dissertation, I'm thinking, you know what? I might. I just might. Yes, Billy, the sky's the limit. We are here to help you. We're here to help all our adult learners. I think I saw earlier in the chat room that you have connected with Working Men of Christ with Christy Somerville. And if I can ever help be a conduit for that relationship or whatever, I'm happy to do so. But what a great group of stories today. Thank you all. This is why I do what I do. I mean, who else could be so lucky? I hit a home run with a grand slam when I get to work with Chad and help people like Billy and all of you. My friends over in online, Jenna, you're all just an amazing group of people. So thank you so much for all that you do. You make every day a dream for me that I get to come and do such wonderful work and work with such wonderful, wonderful people. I hope you all have a wonderful day. Please feel free to reach out to me at any time. If you need anything at all, I will help you and hope that all your dreams come true. Thank you all so much.